Welcome back to the Fungi Files. Today we're delving back and furthering a project that I find really exciting, lion's mane. We're going to be spawning some colonized lion's mane grain to some unsupplemented hardwood substrate that we used previously to spawn out some king oysters and shiitake mushrooms. We'll also review those, see how those bags are developing, and see if this is a worthwhile technique. This method is simple, requiring minimal additives while ensuring healthy mycelium growth. I'll talk you through the process from preparation to inoculation, sharing tips for optimal growth and maintenance. If you've got colonized grain jars like this one, then you're ready to go. Let's take it to the next step and get started. I've already prepared unsupplemented hardwood substrate from our previous video. I let them sit in the bucket, and as long as there is no contamination growing inside and everything smells fine, it's still good to use as long as the proper hydration levels are still there. This substrate is simply just a mix of hardwood fuel pellets and water. We can first take a peek at the bags that we inoculated at the beginning of the month, and this king oyster is starting to pin out of these slits. I'm just constantly keeping humidity by spraying them out every day. They're not inside of a fruiting chamber, but just colonizing on these bags on my shelf. Let's just take a peek at our hardwood substrate and make sure that it still has good moisture levels. As you can see, when you squeeze it, it forms a very light cake. It doesn't drip, but maybe a drop when you squeeze it tightly. Next, we need to break up our grain spawn. This lion's mane is pretty wispy, so I should be able to break it all the way up just with hitting my hand. Breaking it up just ensures that the mycelium is evenly distributed when we spread it into our bag. Now we're ready to mix the grain and substrate. I'm going to again use a Ziplock bag just as I did the first time and see if I can get these lion's mane to fruit out the side in a slit just like I am with the king oysters. I'll start with the grain spawn. Make sure it's all nice and broken up. And mix in about 3 times as much hardwood substrate. With everything in the bag, I'm going to go ahead and thoroughly mix it up. Make sure there's no clumps. With this all thoroughly mixed, I'm going to compress it, put a slit and a micro pour filter over it, and go ahead and start incubation. And just as we did with the original bags, we're going to wipe down the surface with an isopropyl alcohol wipe. Make a small incision along the top. And put a piece of micropore tape over. Now we will label, start the incubation process in a warm, dark place between 65 and about 75 degrees Fahrenheit for about 2 weeks so we can observe the progress. And that's all there is to it. We'll put this on the shelf, incubate it, and monitor progress every few days over the next 2 weeks to make sure this doesn't contaminate, and hopefully this log will colonize and we can send it to fruiting within maybe the next month. Thanks for tuning in, and if you found this guide helpful, don't forget to like and subscribe, and leave a comment below with any questions or concerns that you might have. And be sure to keep an eye out for future videos on lion's mane and other fascinating fungi projects. Until next time, happy cultivating.